Welcome back to our channel, World of Coins. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Jefferson nickels coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them because it could make you a millionaire overnight. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to shine the spotlight on a coin that you may have come across countless times, yet never thought twice about its potential value. That's right, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1987. It's easy to overlook such a small coin in your pocket change, but there's much more to this humble nickel than meets the eye. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at the hidden value this little coin could hold. The 1987 5-cent coin, or nickel, holds more than just its face value. To understand its true significance, let's take a step back in time. The late 1980s were a transformative period for the United States, as the nation was in the midst of both political and economic change. 1987 marked the end of Ronald Reagan's second term in office, a time of continued economic growth following the earlier recession. It was a time when the United States was solidifying its place as a global economic powerhouse, and this period of prosperity left its mark on many aspects of American life, including the coins used in everyday transactions. The design of the 1987 5-cent coin is a tribute to both American history and the ideals that shaped the country. On the obverse side, we have the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson's image has been gracing the nickel since 1938, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage. His dignified likeness on the coin is a reminder of the values and vision that helped shape the nation. If we flip the coin over to the reverse side, we see another layer of American history. The reverse of the 1987 nickel features a detailed image of Monticello, the grand estate in Virginia that Jefferson called home. Monticello, a symbol of Jefferson's personal legacy, is depicted in an elegant, classical style. This architectural wonder is not only a reflection of Jefferson's influence but also a nod to the American ideals of freedom, democracy, and independence. The design is timeless, capturing both the grandeur and the simplicity of the nation's founding principles. While the 1987 5-cent coin is certainly a beautiful and historically rich piece of currency, it's also significant from a collector's standpoint. In terms of minting details, the 1987 nickel was produced by the United States Mint in large numbers, as is typical for coins of this denomination. But what sets the 1987 nickel apart is its condition and rarity. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, passing through countless hands and suffering wear and tear in the process. Over time, many of these coins became worn down, their designs smoothed out by the friction of daily use. However, for collectors, the key to value lies in finding coins that have been preserved in exceptional condition. A nickel that remains in nearly perfect, uncirculated condition is a rare find and can command a higher price than those that are heavily worn. But it's not just about condition. Some 1987 nickels were produced with slight imperfections during the minting process, such as minor errors or variations in the design, which make them even more sought after by coin collectors. These error coins are prized for their rarity and uniqueness, making them valuable additions to any collection. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1987 5-cent coin. You might be wondering, what's the real value of this coin? The answer may surprise you. While most 1987 nickels are worth only 5 cents, coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, or those with rare minting errors, can fetch an incredible price. In fact, a perfectly preserved 1987 5-cent coin could be worth as much as $49,000. Yes, you heard that right, $49,000 for a single nickel. The reason for such a high value is the combination of factors: its excellent condition, any potential minting errors, and the rarity of such coins in the marketplace. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for these gems, and finding a 1987 nickel that meets these criteria is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. If you happen to have a stash of coins from the 1980s, it's worth taking the time to check each one, especially the 1987 5-cent pieces. You never know, you might just have a nickel that's worth much more than you thought. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this discovery could be the beginning of an exciting journey into the world of rare coins. And there you have it, a coin that you may have seen thousands of times could be sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful and informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future coin discoveries. Top 2, we're delving into a coin that many overlook, yet has the potential to surprise you with its historical significance and its astounding value. Yes, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1973. It may seem like just another ordinary nickel, but there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Stick around as we uncover the fascinating story behind this 1973 5-cent coin, its unique design, and, of course, the stunning value it could hold for collectors. To understand the significance of the 1973 5-cent coin, let's first take a look at the context in which it was minted. The early 1970s was a time of major changes in the United States. The country was navigating the complexities of the post-Vietnam War era, as well as dealing with significant political and economic shifts. 1973 was a year marked by the end of the Vietnam War, the start of the Watergate scandal, and the oil crisis, which had a lasting impact on the global economy. It was a year of both turbulence and transformation for the country, and in the midst of it all, this coin was being minted for circulation. Now, let's move on to the design of the 1973 nickel. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson has been featured on the nickel since 1938, and his portrait remains one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. The design of Jefferson, as envisioned by artist Felix Schlag, reflects the dignity and the visionary nature of the man who authored the Declaration of Independence and played a critical role in the founding of the United States. Jefferson's portrait is surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust," as well as the year, 1973. On the reverse side, you'll see a depiction of Monticello, the Virginia plantation where Jefferson spent much of his life. Monticello is an architectural masterpiece that reflects Jefferson's ideals of classical design and his personal legacy. The reverse design, also created by Felix Schlag, is a tribute to Jefferson's home and his enduring influence on American history. The word Monticello is prominently displayed, along with the motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, which further emphasizes the unity of the American people. While the design itself is beautiful and historically significant, the real intrigue surrounding the 1973 5-cent coin lies in its minting details. The United States Mint produced this nickel in large quantities, as it was a widely circulated coin used in everyday transactions. However, not all 1973 nickels are created equal. Over the years, these coins have been exposed to varying degrees of wear and tear. Most of the 1973 nickels you'll find in circulation today are heavily worn, with their details smoothed out from years of handling and use. But the true value of a coin lies in its condition, and that's where the potential for rarity and increased value comes into play. For collectors, coins that remain in excellent condition, free from damage, discoloration, or heavy circulation wear, are considered highly desirable. A 1973 nickel in uncirculated condition is a rare find, and it can command a significant premium in the marketplace. The condition of a coin directly impacts its value, and a well-preserved example from 1973 is much more sought after than one that has been circulated extensively. What makes the 1973 nickel even more appealing to collectors are the potential minting errors or variations that may exist. Sometimes, during the minting process, a coin can have slight design flaws, such as misalignments, doubling, or other unique characteristics that make the coin stand out from the rest. These error coins are highly prized by collectors, as they are one of a kind and offer a glimpse into the imperfections that can occur during the production of coins. If you happen to come across a 1973 nickel with a minting error, it could be worth far more than a typical coin in excellent condition. So, now for the big question: what is the value of a 1973 5-cent coin? While most of these coins are worth just 5 cents, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1973 nickel can fetch a considerable sum. But it's not just about the condition. the rarity of the coin and any potential minting errors or variations can push its value even higher. In fact, a 1973 nickel in exceptional condition, or one with a rare minting error, can be worth as much as $56,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $56,000 for a single nickel. This value reflects the rarity and desirability of the coin among collectors, particularly those who specialize in U.S. coins. While it's not common to find such a high-value coin in your pocket change, the market for rare and valuable coins is ever-growing, and there are always collectors searching for pieces like the 1973 nickel.so. The next time you come across a 1973 5-cent coin, take a moment to inspect it carefully. If it's in exceptional condition or has a unique error, it could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, coins like the 1973 nickel offer exciting possibilities for your collection. Top 3, we're going to explore a coin that you might have seen countless times in your pocket change, but it may hold much more value than you think. Yes, I'm talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1985, commonly known as the nickel. Now, you may be wondering what's so special about this particular coin, and why you should even care about a nickel from 1985. Well, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this small piece of currency has made its way into the spotlight and could be worth far more than its face value. Let's begin by setting the stage. The year 1985 was a time of change and innovation in the United States. The country was in the midst of the Reagan administration, a period of economic recovery after the early 1980s recession. The tech boom was just starting to take off, and many industries were beginning to see the rise of new technologies. The 1980s also marked a cultural shift, with the rise of pop culture icons, the growth of the music industry, and an increasingly globalized economy. Amid all these developments, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing the coins that would continue to circulate for years to come, including the 1985 nickel. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1985 5-cent coin. For those familiar with U.S. coins, the design of the nickel hasn't changed much over the years. On the obverse, you'll see the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, whose face has graced the nickel since 1938. Jefferson was not only the author of the Declaration of Independence but also one of the most influential figures in American history. His image on the coin serves as a tribute to the values he championed: freedom, democracy, and the pursuit of happiness. What makes the design of the 1985 nickel particularly interesting is the reverse side, which features an image of Monticello, Jefferson's famous plantation home in Virginia. Monticello was Jefferson's life's work, an architectural masterpiece that reflected his commitment to classical design and his desire to create a symbol of American ideals. The reverse of the coin shows Monticello in all its grandeur, with the word Monticello clearly visible. This iconic image is one of the most enduring representations of American architecture and history, making the 1985 nickel a meaningful piece of currency. While the design of the 1985 nickel is timeless, the real story lies in the coin's production and its role in U.S. history. The 1985 5-cent coin was minted in large numbers by the United States Mint, as is customary for coins of this denomination. These coins were widely circulated, used in countless transactions, and passed through millions of hands. Most of the 1985 nickels that you'll find today are worn and scratched from years of handling. As a result, these coins are not particularly valuable, at least not at first glance. However, the true value of any coin lies in its condition, and that's where things get interesting with the 1985 nickel. While most of these coins have been heavily circulated, there are still examples out there in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins, free from scratches, discoloration, and damage, are highly sought after by collectors. When a coin is in excellent condition, it can fetch far more than its face value, even if it's from a relatively recent year. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in mint condition, as these examples are far rarer than their circulated counterparts. The key to understanding the value of the 1985 nickel is recognizing the rarity of well-preserved coins. A coin that has been kept in a safe, dry environment and handled with care can retain its original luster and sharpness, making it a prized possession for collectors. Beyond the general condition of the coin, there are also certain variations and minting errors that can make a 1985 nickel even more valuable. Sometimes, during the minting process, small flaws or imperfections can occur. These can include things like doubling, misaligned designs, or other subtle errors that make the coin unique. Error coins are highly prized by collectors because they are one of a kind, and owning one can significantly increase the value of a collection. So, what's the value of the 1985 5-cent coin? While most 1985 nickels are worth only 5 cents, the value of a coin can increase dramatically depending on its condition and any unique features it may have. A 1985 nickel in uncirculated condition, free from damage, wear, and scratches, could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, that's right, $50,000 for a single nickel. This might seem unbelievable, but it's true. The combination of rarity, condition, and the ever-growing demand for high-quality coins has made the 1985 nickel an appealing find for collectors. If you happen to come across a 1985 nickel, don't just dismiss it as pocket change. Take a closer look. If the coin is in excellent condition or has a unique minting error, you could have a valuable piece on your hands. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting your journey, finding a rare and valuable coin like this could be a game changer for your collection. So, the next time you find yourself with a 1985 nickel, remember that it might be worth much more than just 5 cents. With a little bit of attention and care, you could unlock a hidden treasure that could bring in a significant return. Top 4, we're focusing on a seemingly ordinary coin that might just surprise you with its hidden worth. I'm talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1989. At first glance, you might think, it's just another nickel, but don't be so quick to dismiss it. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why this 1989 nickel could be worth far more than its face value. Let's rewind to the year 1989. The United States, under the presidency of George H.W. Bush, was in a period of political stability, but there were changes in the air. The country was witnessing the end of the Cold War, and the global economy was going through some shifts. In the US, the stock market was booming, and there was a sense of optimism in the air. Meanwhile, the United States Mint was busy producing coins, including the 5-cent coin we're talking about today. While it may not have been the most talked about coin at the time, the 1989 nickel was still an important part of the daily life of Americans, circulating in everyday transactions. Now, let's dive into the design of the 1989 5-cent coin. For many years, the design of the US nickel has remained consistent, and this is true for the 1989 version as well. On the obverse side of the coin, we find the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson is one of the most significant figures in American history, not only for his role in the founding of the nation but also for his advocacy of the principles of liberty and democracy. His image on the nickel is a tribute to his lasting influence on the country. The design of Jefferson's portrait was created by Felix Schlag and has remained relatively unchanged since 1938. On the obverse of the 1989 nickel, you'll see the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the year 1989. The inclusion of these inscriptions helps to underscore the timeless nature of this coin and its connection to the core values of the United States. Moving to the reverse side, you'll find an image of Monticello, the plantation home of Thomas Jefferson in Virginia. Monticello is not only a historical landmark but also a symbol of Jefferson's personal legacy. The reverse design, also by Felix Schlag, beautifully captures the architecture of Monticello, with its classic columns and sweeping grounds. The words Monticello and E pluribus unum, out of many, one, are prominently displayed on the reverse side, further emphasizing the ideals of unity and the nation's democratic foundation. While the design of the 1989 nickel might seem straightforward, the real value lies in its production and how it has aged over time. The United States Mint produced millions of these coins in 1989, ensuring that they circulated widely across the country. Most of the 1989 nickels you'll encounter today are heavily worn from years of handling. The wear and tear on the coin's surface can obscure some of the finer details of the design, making them less attractive to collectors. However, as with any coin, condition is key to determining its value. The 1989 nickel, like many other coins, can vary significantly in value depending on how well it's been preserved. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, free from damage and heavy wear, are considered much more valuable than their worn counterparts. A nickel from 1989 in uncirculated condition is a rare find and can fetch a premium price. It's important to understand that when it comes to coins, collectors value pieces that retain their original luster and sharp details. A 1989 nickel that's been carefully stored, kept in a protective holder, and hasn't been exposed to the rigors of daily transactions is far rarer than the millions of coins that were used in change over the years. For collectors, uncirculated coins are highly desirable, and they can command significantly higher prices than those that have been circulated. But the story doesn't end with just finding a 1989 nickel in excellent condition. Over the years, some coins can have unique features or errors that make them even more valuable. These minting errors can be anything from misalignments to doubled designs or even unusual features that set the coin apart from the standard issue. If you come across a 1989 nickel that has such an error, you could be holding on to something very special. Error coins are particularly coveted in the world of coin collecting because they're rare, one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the crowd. Now, let's get to the moment you've been waiting for, the value of the 1989 nickel. While most of these coins are worth just 5 cents, a 1989 nickel in excellent, uncirculated condition can be worth much more. If the coin is in perfect condition and has a unique feature or minting error, its value can skyrocket. In fact, a well-preserved 1989 nickel, especially one with an error, could be worth as much as $45,000, yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single nickel. This may seem incredible, but it's the reality for certain rare and well-preserved coins. The market for rare coins has been growing steadily, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are in mint condition or that have unusual characteristics. If you happen to find a 1989 nickel in your collection or while coin hunting, make sure to inspect it carefully. You never know when you might be holding on to a small fortune. So, the next time you come across a 1989 5-cent coin, remember that it could be worth much more than you think. With a little bit of care and attention to detail, you could discover a hidden gem in your pocket change. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, coins like the 1989 nickel are a great reminder of how valuable even the most ordinary-looking coins can be. Top 5 and last, we're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most iconic U.S. coins, the 1964 5-cent, also known as the 1964 nickel. While it may seem like just another nickel from the past, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. In this video, we'll take a journey through its history, design, the significance it holds in the world of numismatics, and, of course, how much this little coin could be worth today. So sit back and enjoy as we unravel the mystery behind the 1964 nickel. Let's start by setting the historical stage for 1964. The United States was in the middle of a dynamic period. It was the height of the post-World War II economic boom, with Americans enjoying prosperity and an expanding middle class. The year 1964 was a pivotal one politically as well. It marked the beginning of President Lyndon B. Johnson's term in office following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The country was in a time of transformation, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and the space race continuing to captivate the nation. Amid all this change, the U.S. Mint was busy creating the coins that would circulate during this period, and the 1964 nickel was one of them. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1964 5-cent coin. This nickel is part of the series that has featured the profile of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the third President of the United States, since 1938. The obverse side of the 1964 nickel showcases Jefferson's portrait, designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson is depicted in profile, with his strong, determined features conveying his role as a visionary and leader. His image on the nickel not only honors his legacy as the author of the Declaration of Independence but also reflects his contributions to the nation's ideals of liberty and democracy. Alongside Jefferson's portrait, the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," are inscribed, as well as the year, 1964. This was a significant year in American history, as it marked the end of the first decade of coin production after the monumental changes in currency following the end of World War II. This particular design would remain in circulation until 2003, and to this day, it continues to be one of the most recognizable symbols of American coinage. The reverse side of the 1964 nickel is equally iconic, featuring a detailed depiction of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's estate in Virginia. Monticello, designed by Jefferson himself, is not just a home but a symbol of his ideals, his commitment to architecture, and his legacy. The reverse of the 1964 nickel shows Monticello in all its glory, with the words Monticello inscribed above, and E pluribus unum, out of many, one, below, underscoring the nation's unity and democratic values. It's worth noting that the 1964 nickel was minted during a transitional period. By this time, the U.S. Mint had moved away from using silver in the production of nickels, which began in 1942 due to the demands of World War II. By 1964, the composition of the nickel had reverted back to a copper-nickel alloy, a change that was made to stabilize the coin's production cost and keep it affordable. While the coin's design remained the same, this shift in materials marked a significant moment in American coinage history. When the 1964 nickel was first released into circulation, it was just like any other coin, used for daily transactions and seen by millions of Americans. However, over the decades, many of these coins were either worn down or lost in the shuffle of everyday life, with only a small percentage remaining in pristine condition. As time went on, coin collectors began to take notice of these 1964 nickels, and it became clear that this coin, while once commonplace, had gained a certain level of rarity, especially in uncirculated condition. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. A coin that's been heavily circulated, with visible scratches and worn edges, won't carry the same value as one that has been kept in excellent condition. Collectors and dealers alike value coins in mint condition because they are the rarest and most desirable. Over the years, the 1964 nickel has become one of those coins that collectors keep an eye out for. If a 1964 nickel has been preserved well enough to keep its luster, sharp details, and overall appearance, it can be worth far more than its face value. Of course, as with many coins, certain variations or minting errors can make a specific coin even more valuable. The 1964 nickel, while fairly straightforward in its design, is no exception. Minting errors, such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or even unusual wear patterns, can make a particular coin stand out. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they are one of a kind. If you ever find a 1964 nickel with one of these rarities, you might just be holding a highly valuable piece of American history. Now, let's talk about the price. As with many coins, the value of the 1964 nickel can vary depending on its condition. While a standard, circulated nickel is worth only 5 cents, a 1964 nickel in uncirculated condition can be worth far more. Depending on the specifics of the coin, its grade, and any unique features it might have, the value can increase significantly. But here's the real kicker: if you happen to find a 1964 nickel in near-perfect condition, you could be looking at a price tag of $61,000, that's right, $61,000 for a single nickel. While it may seem hard to believe, this is the kind of money collectors are willing to pay for rare, well-preserved coins. So, the next time you come across a 1964 nickel, don't just let it slip through your fingers. Take a closer look. Is it in pristine condition? Does it have any unique characteristics? It could be worth more than you ever imagined. So, there you have it. Your 1964 5-cent coin could be worth a small fortune if it's in the right condition. Whether you've been collecting for years or are just starting out, remember that even the most seemingly ordinary coins can hold significant value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1964 nickel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on all things coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting for those hidden treasures.